All right, welcome while we read about Jefferson Davis's inaugural address. So, Jefferson Davis was the president of the Confederate States of America, the CSA, the South, the Confederacy. And in this speech, where if you remember that an inaugural address is a speech that a president gives that defines this is how I feel, what I believe, this is the direction our country is going to go, these are our motivations, this is the mentality of our country. And in this speech, he is communicating that the Confederacy, what it's doing isn't much different from the American Revolutionary War against Great Britain. And this is a speech delivered February 22nd, 1862. So Jefferson Davis became the provisional, the temporary president of the Confederate States of America in February of 1861. His inaugural address a year later states that the secession of the southern states was similar to the colonists' revolution against the British. And his speech justifies the South's need to secede. And in his speech, he discusses a tentative plan, a most likely going to happen plan for the seceding states' future. He's defining what the Confederacy is going to do in the future. He claimed that a secession, that it was a necessity, not a choice. We have resorted to the remedy of separation, and henceforth our energies must be directed to the conduct of our own affairs and the perpetuity of the Confederacy which we have formed. So the speech has a few different parts to it. You have the liberty portion of the speech, where you contrast Lincoln's discussion of liberty for individual people. Davis explains liberty and equality through the lens of freedom from the North's oppression of the South. And what he actually says is they, the Confederate States, formed a new alliance. But within each state, its government has remained, so that the rights of person and property have not been disturbed. Through many years of controversy with our late associates of the Northern states, we have vainly endeavored to secure tranquility and obtain respect to the rights to which we are entitled. It is joyous in the midst of perilous times to look around upon a people united in heart, where one purpose of high resolve animates and actuates the whole, where the sacrifices to be made are not weighed in the balance against honor and right and liberty and equality. The next part of his speech is the Union. Davis explains that breaking from the Union was a necessity, not a choice, and that a reunion with the states from which we have separated is neither practical nor desirable. The next portion of his speech is the government, where he describes the Confederacy had a goal of establishing a government system similar to the United States Constitution. Jefferson Davis says, American idea that governments rest on the consent of the government, and that it is the right of the people to alter or abolish them at will whenever they become destructive of the ends for which they are established. As a consequence of our new condition and relations, and with a vigor to meet anticipated wants, it will be necessary to provide for the speedy and efficient organization of branches of the executive department having special charge of foreign intercourse, finance, military affairs, and the postal service. So, context. Jefferson Davis was a senator from Mississippi before being elected as president of the Confederate States in America. He delivers his inaugural address on February 18th, 1861, in Montgomery, Alabama. His intended audience in the documents, because he gives a speech, yes, but he sends it out as a document. And Jefferson Davis intends for the people to be getting this message to be the northern states. He's actually speaking more to the North than he is to his own people. Because the purpose of his inaugural address, Jefferson Davis is disclosing, he's telling why the South seceded from the Union, from their point of view, describing it as a necessity, not a choice. Davis also issues a warning to the northern states, proclaiming that the North will never attack the South or, quote, the suffering of millions will bear testimony to the northern folly and wickedness. Lincoln is saying in his inaugural addresses, look, please don't leave the Union. I'll even approve the Corwin Amendment. What do we got to do? We got to stay one. And the South is basically saying, from Jefferson Davis's speech, the South is basically saying, it's too late. We're done. We want to be our own country. We're just done. I hope you're learning, and I hope you're having fun.